Gentlemen, it's been great fun to be with you over the last few years to talk about the Masters and so many things, but this is the first time that we will do so without Arnold. And it's bittersweet, I'm sure, for you. I wonder if you can remember the first time each of you met Arnold.
I was 18 years old. We played Dow Finsterwald Day in Athens, Ohio. We met and had, and I always talk about maybe the start of our rival because we had a driving contest on the first tee, and Arnold drove it on the green, and I drove it over the green, so I won the driving contest. But he shot 63 and I shot 67. So anyway, it sort of started then. I was just an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, it would go on for a long, long time. Gary, how about you?
Chicago, 1957. I'm playing in the Tam O'Shanter, and Jimmy DeMerit won the Masters many, many times, and always jovial, always laughing, a fantastic man. He said, come over, I want you to watch a young guy hitting the ball here. And I went over, and there was Arnold Palmer with arms like a steel smith, and hands so strong, looked like a toothpick in his hand. And he hit that ball with a very unusual swing, certainly not orthodox, but there was something that made you say in your mind, wow, this guy is going to be a champion.
And he was a great champion. Let's talk a little bit about something that has become kind of a trend lately in the game of golf, and that's this youth movement. Now, both of you guys were outliers, winning major championships at a very, very young age. We had Rory McIlroy win a U.S. Open at age 21, Jordan Spieth win a Masters at 21. That's pretty young.
I agree that the prime of most golfers is 33, 34, right in that area. However, as you say, Gary won young, I won young.
Tom Morris.
I'm sorry?
Tom Morris even. Go way back.
I know you were there, but I wasn't there, Gary.
With that old Tom or young Tom?
Either one. Then Tiger came along, and Tiger dominated the game for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And so he didn't really give a young player a chance to win. All of a sudden, the young guys, the Jordan Spieths, the Rory McIlroys, Jason Days, all came out of the woodwork because they were the ones that were good players, but they were never been given a chance when Tiger was there. Now all of a sudden they have a chance. They learned how to win at a young age because they were the best players out there.
All right, let's talk about Tiger for a moment. I don't know about the two of you, but it's just so hard to believe that it's been 20 years since he won that first Masters. 20 years. And it was a landmark win for a number of reasons, not the least of which was because he set a record for the greatest margin of a win here at Augusta National. Do you remember your first impressions when you realized that this young man was going to be something kind of different?
I first saw Tiger hit a ball when he was 15 out at Bel Air in a little sort of clinic. And I was very impressed, and of course I followed him after that. And I played with Tiger here in practice round in '96. And I remember Arnold and I played with him, and I said in the press room, I said, well, this young kid may win more than Arnold and I combined. And so, you know, I was being a little facetious about that, but he proceeded to go right on and start winning the Masters. So had he remained healthy, you know, he might well have won a lot more.
Gary, you remember 1997 at all? It
Very
was
well.
So seismic.
Yeah, very well. The thing that really stands out in my mind, that we were all anxious to see how this incredibly talented young man was going to play. And he was out in 40. So everybody thought, well, this guy's not going to make the cut. And being out in 40 still broke the all-time record on the tournament. And that's when people really sat up and listened. But he had something in the eyes, and his makeup, and his passion, and his concentration. And that's something, it's a divine gift. We want to see him win. We want to see him come out and win majors. It's good for all of us. Will it happen?
Speak for yourself, fella.
We hope so. We hope so, but he's got a monumental challenge. He's got a monumental challenge.
No, I want to see him play well.
But if anybody can do it, it's Tiger Woods, and we're all pulling for him.
So many times, I don't know what the math is for how many times the two of you have played here together. And I'm sure there are so many memories. You know, Jack, you won more than anybody else in history here. Gary, the first non-American to win here at Augusta National. When you think about Augusta, is there one particular memory that comes back to you, one favorite memory, one you'd like to hang over your fireplace?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have any one particular one. I suppose '86 would have to fall into that category. I go back to '65, and Arnold and Gary and I were tied at 138 after 2 rounds. And I went out the next afternoon, shot 64, and it was the easiest 64 I've ever shot. I don't think I could have shot any higher. It seemed like I just drove the ball a long way. It was all 9 irons and wedges, and it was not any long putts. It was just not many rounds in your life you have that are easy. And that was an easy round, and of course that put me in front, so it was pretty special for me.
What about you, Gary?
I was 7 behind Tom Watson and other players in 1978 and went out, and I came back in 30, shot 64 with a bogey. But in the last hole, nobody up until then had holed a putt above the hole to win the Masters. And I had this 22-foot putt, and it went right in the middle. To hold that putt, to come back in 30 and win, wow, it was something you never forget.
Jack, Gary, it's always a pleasure to be with you. I only wish that there was one more here to fill out our foursome.
We do too.
So do we.